Hi, my name's Nathan Thornberry, and I'm a home warranty expert. Let me tell you why. For the last 24 years, excluding the last 12 months, I've been involved very directly in the home warranty industry. For approximately 22 of those years, 20 of those years, I was the primary and exclusive owner of one of the largest home warranty companies in the country, Residential Warranty Services Incorporated, which uniquely had service contracts both in the typical home warranty sense as well as niche service contracts that came from other real estate vendors, largely home inspectors. That company was purchased, and that line of business rather was purchased by a publicly traded company called Porch Group. And they now own it, and I am one of the largest investors in that company. So let me tell you about one of the most common questions we get from real estate agents and buyers and sellers alike in the real estate transaction where we largely serve clients. And that question has to do with home inspection standards and how they apply to home warranty coverage. So hopefully, if you're out there and you need a home warranty, you choose Residential Warranty Services, part of Porch Group. But regardless of which company you look at, the first thing to look at is your policy. Because unless there's an exclusion for the following situation, that is one of the most common situations in real estate that frustrates buyers and sellers and agents and causes negotiation issues, particularly after the contingency period. So late in the game, 11th hour for the transaction, is the idea of as to whether or not there is an exclusion for dated, older equipment. And the way this usually works is a home inspector comes in and he doesn't state any specific defect, and a contractor doesn't say that a unit is defective. There's no issue as to let's use water heaters and HVAC equipment, the two biggest issues usually. There's nothing in any of the manufacturer's instructions for an HVAC system that says, here is a required replacement item. Nothing. Anything can be virtually anything rather, can be repaired and can be repaired under these service contracts and warranty policies. And of course, there's always maybe a smart time to upgrade, particularly when there's a potential for energy savings. And if you have some obsolete equipment, it can certainly make it a challenge to find parts or make it more expensive. So, excessively old equipment, you should definitely consider replacing. But for middle life equipment, and we'll call for, a typical, let's say, Midwest heating and cooling system, most of them are 15 to 25 year systems. And, if you're 7 or 8 years old and older, and not quite to that 15 to 20 year age, and about the same goes for water heaters, actually, and it's not leaking in terms of the water heater, then you're good for that warranty coverage. There's virtually no policy on the planet that excludes a perfectly fine working halfway through its age system. And you can pick up a warranty policy that gets wrapped into your closing and has you covered for the first year, and then you can decide whether you renew it the next year or save the money and invest in equipment. And this can definitely give you some confidence to close with an older system, particularly if you're like most buyers, you're spending a lot of money on the way in, and you want to make sure that right after closing you don't have thousands of dollars worth of repairs to make and put yourself in a tough situation financially. So this is a good tool to avoid that. It is a form of risk management. Many of the features out in the industry I invented, and I'm very proud of what we did. One of the things that we focused on a lot, and there's still very proudly in Residential Warranty Services case, we still do this. We have a larger claims staff than we have a sales staff, whereas almost everybody in the industry has a very substantial sales staff, and that's kind of the focus, is to get people in. We did a fine job of growing, clearly, but we did it through nothing but the service side. And I'm proud to say, as one of the largest shareholders in Porch Group, that they've continued with that. And if you were to call on, let's say today as an example, or reach out today as an example, and today is a Saturday, it's a weekend, you're not going to get a salesperson on the phone over the weekend. I mean, you could, but most of the people that you would get if you call in or send in a support request will be claims and support staff. So real proud of that. Let me give you one other thing. If you're watching this video, I'm just going to assume that you're you're in the middle of a real estate transaction and you're considering a home warranty. There's nothing in common between these service contracts and the stuff that I call cash register warranties represent. So, you go to Walmart, you buy a toaster, they want to upsell you $7 at the cash register for a service plan. Those are sucker bets. Don't do it. You're losing money on those all day long. But gosh, if you want to, just because you don't want to risk it, fine. They have a place, but they don't really save you money inherently. A home warranty contract, on the other hand, which is a service contract, has the ability to, and on average, we did very well with this, has the ability to save you money and be a risk management component. So let me tell you what I mean by that. As you're watching this video, it's 2023. There's been plenty of inflation to go around, and still there's a huge deviation in HVAC and water heaters, more in HVAC than water heaters, of the prices that you pay. So if you go to a very highly advertised, very commercial retail HVAC or plumbing operation, and you buy a complete system, let's just use replacement as an example, you might be at $10,000 to $15,000 on a split system installation in your residence, and on a water heater, you might be at $1,500 to $2,000. Whereas if you were really good at shopping it and knew the right local provider to trust, or were a home warranty company that had was giving massive amounts of business to just a few contractors, then you would likely end up with a better deal. And we always did at Residential Warranty Services for what a Benjamin Franklin Plumbing or one of these guys might charge $2,000 for a water heater. We'd get installed and done for under $650. And frankly, you don't have to make too many phone calls to find somebody that'll do virtually anything that these retail rip-off contractors will sell you for like half, at least 30% off, but you'll be able to find half. So if you're going to the biggest ad in the yellow pages on plumbing and HVAC, or the internet equivalent, you're definitely paying too much, but you might even get a better deal if you're a user of these service contracts and have the ability to tap into their negotiated wholesale rates. So always consider that as well when you're looking at a home warranty option. But particularly if you have a house that has mostly 7 or 8 year old components, or a mix of older components because it's an older house that's been upgraded over the years, it's a great idea to get a home warranty. And I truly believe that. No, I don't believe that. Beliefs are not how I operate. I know that because I've seen the numbers. So most warranties, when you buy them at the cash register, are rip-offs. But homeowners insurance, as an example, saves you from the catastrophic. Service contracts like home warranties, when ran correctly, should do what health insurance does. It should be a negotiating tool as much as it is a hedge against the unexpected higher cost, but not catastrophic. It's not insurance. So there's everything you need to know if you're buying a house with equipment that's halfway through its life from, I will humbly say, the number one expert in home warranty and service contracts in North America. I've literally been the only guy to ever own a company outright myself that was licensed throughout the United States and in almost every area of Canada as well. Literally the only one, and the only one to do all these other niche service contracts as well. So, if you have a question, talk to your real estate agent. Ask them. And if they say that home warranties are a ripoff, then, I would say that they are using their own anecdotal evidence and not using actual stats and figures and facts. And that's kind of a dangerous thing. So pick the right agent that knows how to analyze things. And when you look at this a little deeper and read the policy, you're going to find that this is the solution for your slightly aged equipment. I'm Nathan Thornberry. Check out my website, nathan.tv.